Welcome back. Good morning. You're still watching The Morning Show here on Arise News. I'm Deji Osasona.
And I'm Rufai Osasona. Good to have you again, Messi.
Great to have you again, Rufai. How are you doing? How was your evening yesterday?
Very well, thank you. It's also joy. And yesterday was electric.
It was a great show, but today I think we have an even better show, don't we? Yeah, we're going to be talking a little bit about health and a little bit about what it takes to get a great job here in Nigeria.
Definitely.
Now, with the prevalence of lifestyle diseases leading to early death, there is a holistic need to talk about a change in lifestyle and diet of Nigerians to promote general health and well-being. A healthy lifestyle is one which helps to keep and improves people's health and well-being. It's been said that just being slim does not mean that one is healthy. Trust me, I know.
Yes.
Now, if you feel healthy, there is absolutely nothing wrong with feeling even healthier. You know what they say, health is indeed wealth. Now, no matter how healthy one may feel naturally, it's also a great idea to improve your health. Now, joining us this morning to discuss this is a medical doctor and a neuropsychologist and a lifestyle coach. We call him Dr. Osasona, but he's also known as the Dr. Osas. Good morning and welcome to The Morning Show.
Good morning, Messi, and good morning, Rufai. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show, and I have to say you do look great, you look like a funky doctor.
Oh, thank
you. But what
you.
we want to talk about today is lifestyle, which clearly you know a lot about. So the good news is, Rufai, Africans are living longer, Nigerians are living longer.
Yes.
But the bad news is that there has been a spate of lifestyle diseases. I'm talking cardiovascular diseases, I'm talking cancer, I'm talking pneumonia. Unfortunately, we're also talking fibroids, which a lot of Nigerian women suffer from as well. Why has there been this increased spate of illnesses here amongst Nigerians?
Okay, so if you look at it, the number one commonest cause of death globally is heart disease, especially ischemic heart disease. I will try not to use medical jargons. However, in Africa, heart disease fall under number 4.
Okay.
The first being lower respiratory tract infection, second being HIV, and third being diarrheal disease. So we can say that the first 3 are largely infectious diseases, then the fourth being heart diseases. Now, heart disease, essentially, 80% of heart disease are linked to behavioral factors.
Wow.
So we have a lot of behavioral factors that are civilization-induced and stress-induced. So when I mean civilization-induced, when you begin to utilize technology, technology takes away certain aspects of your lifestyle. For example, if care is not taken, if you're not in charge of your lifestyle, technology takes away your physical activity.
Can you expatiate on that one, please? Because I think that's very important.
So I say to people, the more you sit, the more the danger you're placing on your heart. The more you sit, the more the danger you're placing on your heart. Anytime you have to sit for longer than 2 hours at once, you're posing a risk to your heart.
There was I thinking the more you date Nigerian men, the more of a risk to your heart.
Don't be like that, Messi. But what you said is really apt, Dr. Sass, because even children these days, they play more video games. They're not going out. They're not interacting. They're not talking to
so
people.
you have executives sitting behind their office desk for 8 hours, 6 hours, without standing up. And that's why global organizations with global standards and that are wellness inclined are beginning to adapt the ergonomics of the workplace to fit into lifestyle that can promote health. So we have executive seats or chairs that remind you or prompt you to get up from your seat and at least for 5 minutes stretch your body, stretch your joints. And there are exercises that we now call desk exercises that you can even do at your front
desk. Exercises?
Yeah, desk exercises.
Exercise you can do on your desk.
The essence is this. Let me quickly...
Like Dr. Sass, practically, can you show me a desk exercise? This is a desk, this is a computer, it's like a workspace.
Okay, so
this is your model. Rufai is going to do
for example, on your seat, there are a lot of stretch exercises you can do. For example, just doing like this.
Okay,
count 1 to 20.
Wow.
That's fantastic, right?
Yes.
And it's fun.
Go on.
That's one. Then you can
you haven't got to 20, guys.
6. And you can face the chair and do same for your thighs. There are a lot of them that you can do. It's only excuses. When you don't have place a value on something, that's when you give excuses that my work is busy and the likes. And I also say this, when you know the why, when you understand the why, you will go for the how. When you understand the why. One of the reasons why exercise or physical activity is key, we can't afford to be too sedentary, is this. 1, there are chemicals that keep your blood vessels patent. They help expand your blood vessels. For example, each time you exercise, you are releasing into your system what we call nitric oxide.
Yes.
That helps to expand your blood vessels. And the more the blood flow through your blood vessels to your heart, the better your heart. As a matter of fact, we say that heart diseases are largely problems of heart and blood vessels, not even the heart themselves. A lot of times it's the blood vessels that get compromised as a result of a narrowing down of the lumen, either by reduction in these chemicals we're talking about, or as a result of deposits of cholesterol, bad cholesterol in form of plaques inside the lumen of these blood vessels concentrically, therefore narrowing down this lumen and compromising blood supply to the heart. And any area of the heart that has compromised blood supply will be deprived of oxygen and will be deprived of nutrients, and therefore will gradually die.
But Dr. Sass, I just want to bring this to bear. In some cases where you have people that have a healthy physical lifestyle, and they still come down with a heart attack or a stroke. A case in point, recently, if you did follow the story, was Iker Casillas, the goalkeeper of Porto. He was even during training, he came down with a stroke. And a lot of Nigerians have said, you know, I don't want to work out because I might be working out and the stroke happens, because they're trying to be able to have a healthy lifestyle. And at the same time, something happens. And it's
all right, so
in that case, what happens? Because a lot of people with fears like that.
So the 80% of heart disease that we're talking about that are linked to behavioral factors are multifactorial, actually. Okay. So it's not just physical activity. We're also talking about diets. Diet has a lot to do with it. We're also talking about stress, how you manage stress. So let me quickly touch on diet. So in Africa, we are fond of eating too much of oil.
I'm so glad you went there, because that's where we're going to go. Please, let's talk it out.
So we are fond of eating too much of oil. Yes. And unfortunately, the common oil we have in our society, or let me say palm the affordable ones, are unhealthy oils.
Like what are these oils?
So palm oil, in fact, a lot of the vegetable oil that we package and call healthy oil, they are just unhealthy oils. I like to group oils into three categories: the good oils, the okay oils, and the bad oils. So the good oils are the oils that, irrespective of the temperature from cooking, they don't get converted to bad oil. So their smoke point, we call it smoke point, is high. So we have olive oil there. We have sunflower oil there. All right. Then we have the okay oil. They are good at a normal room temperature. They are healthy. However, their smoke point is low. So they get converted to a bad oil when they're subjected to heat while cooking. So example is the soya oil, the canola oil, and a lot of them.
But that's what they sell to us as good oil. In fact, advertising labels even go ahead to say it's endorsed by certain heart foundations.
Yes, that is a lot.
Anyway, so what they do is that they claim they remove the cholesterol, which scientifically is unrealistic. Why? Because the cholesterol, there are some good cholesterol that are needed for the body. In fact, there is a particular one that protects your heart. If it goes down, your heart is exposed. The HDL cholesterol, the high-density lipoprotein cholesterol, it must not go below 40 for men and below 50 for women in value, or else your heart is at risk. However, the problem largely is with the triglycerides. So these triglycerides are temporary in existence. They exist more in particles of what we call chylomicrons, which we call they are the silent but deadly cholesterol. And triglycerides are quite high in all this oil. And when you see someone suddenly have chest pain, palpitations, breathing difficulty, it could be a pointer to the fact that angina, what we call angina, is setting in. There is a difficulty in the blood flowing to the heart. Or heart attack might be setting in, or failure might be setting in as a result of the death of some cells of the heart, what we call myocardial infarction. Because this cholesterol, the triglycerides and the low-density lipoprotein, the LDL cholesterol, they deposit concentrically in the lumen of the blood vessels in solid form called plaque. And gradually over the years, especially when there is chronic inflammation from stress and from other factors, they narrow down the lumen of the blood vessels, thus reducing the blood supply to the heart and gradually reducing the oxygen and nutrients.
Now, Dr. Deji, I want to talk a little bit more about nutrition and health, because you've spoken about well. Now, if I'm correct, now I don't know if you've heard of renowned physicist and doctor, Dr. Sebi. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. Now, he said that all disease in the body and everything is caused by mucus and overproduction of mucus, which is directly linked to our diet. So it seems that as Africans, oil is not the only thing that we have to reduce consumption of. Now, what are your thoughts on a vegetarian or a vegan diet? Because we don't consume... Now, I'll tell you a true story. Growing up in the UK, my friend who was Caribbean noticed that, you know, she was always like, I love your jollof rice, I love everything. But she noticed something. She said, Mercy, I don't really see that much vegetables in your meal. Like, whenever you cook, like, where's the veg? I said, but the F1 now, it has vegetable to it. She was like, no, where is the portion? And I realized it's dried out. We don't actually, it is our culture. We don't actually, when you look at it, a portion of vegetables or salad is not something that we consider to be normal within our meals. Now, when you talk about, you know, pursuing a vegetarian or a vegan diet, everybody's like, are you crazy? We're Nigerian. But it appears that this is really, really prevalent if we want to do things that are conducive to our health. What are your thoughts on that?
All right, so we're not just dealing with oil when we say you must change your diet. Also, there are some foods that worsen or increase your heart risk. Now, unfortunately in Africa, plant-based diet is a no for a lot of families.
But
so when you talk about vegetables and fruits, well, culture and our knack or our propensity for high-calorie foods.
But how do we now engage and educate people and let them know that culture is one thing, but this is our health? Because I think something needs to be done.
All right, so I always say this. The problem is not knowledge. A lot of Africans know that they need vegetables, they need fruits. But the problem is habit. So we say knowledge is not enough. Knowledge is not even power, it's application of knowledge.
Application,
If knowledge is power, nobody will be smoking. Because on the cigarette pack, Federal Ministry of Health warns that smokers are liable to die young. Well, we find doctors that smoke.
Oh, definitely.
So knowledge is not enough. A lot of Africans, Nigerians, they know about this, but the ability to change behavior, which might go beyond the person, might require an expert help, a psychologist help, a coach help. And unfortunately, this is also an aspect of living that we have not embraced well in Africa, seeking help professionally. So people think, again, that healthy foods are not sweet. And the truth is that there are alternative healthy meals that can be adapted to your sweet tooth. All right? So there are a lot of ways to package vegetables and fruits to make them healthy. And honestly, for your heart to enjoy good health, you need at least 5 servings of vegetables and 4 servings of fruit per day. One of the secrets of Bill Clinton recovering from his heart attack, the different stages of heart attack he had, was plant-based diet. They switched him. It was an intensive modification to plant-based diet. Not even surgery does. Surgery just saved him temporarily, but plant-based diet helped him to recover. And his vital signs are crazily fantastic, like a young man now.
In fact, because I did take out time to read My Life by Bill Clinton, where he talked about how the switch in his diet happened, because he was saying, for a president of America, Bill Clinton was always saying that formerly in the morning he'll flip burgers, he'll just have burgers, eat burgers, and go on like that. But he started having that. Even Larry King of CNN did talk about how, you know, plant-based diet did help him. But another part I want us to talk about in this conversation is the prevalence of cancer. Recently there was a report out, Mercy, that says 9.6 million people worldwide live with cancer. In fact, it's about the second highest killer. It is said that this is about a disease that most people in every continent of the world. And what is happening? Hydrogenated food. You know, very processed food, processed meats and things like that. You know, you were talking about the historical antecedents of our diet in Africa, but you forget that our grandfathers lived longer and they ate a lot of jollof rice because they rode bicycles to the farm.
They rode bicycles to the farm, but they also ingested a lot more vegetables.
They ingested a lot of naturally existing vegetables.
They did.
So the question here, Dr. Sass, is, what are we going to see? The specific diets we should look at based on the prevalence of cancer. I remember the first time I heard cancer in a national space was when the wife of a prominent Nigerian politician in 1992 died of breast cancer. What has become of this country?
All right, so
the prevalence in cancer.
The challenge is this. Our diet also has been influenced by civilization or technology.
Of course.
So we have a lot of inorganic foods. Even the so-called healthy foods are inorganic. So you are eating white meat, that you regard as healthy in moderate quantity, but it's inorganic because it was raised with chemicals. So these chemicals are also further introduced into your system. Now you're eating vegetables, quite all right. That's a green leafy vegetable, but it's inorganic because it was raised with chemicals, and these chemicals are introduced into your system. We have a lot of technological advancement, unfortunately, in this part of the world, Nigeria, where we have a lot of individually generated power supply causing exhaust fumes in the air. And you and I get to breathe in all this radiation and the likes from industries and from various generators. These are contributing, especially when your system is not detoxifying well and you are not exposed to the natural lifestyle that can help your system to fight all these things well. Then also, reality is that stress has hijacked our lifestyle. Stress is a two-dimensional impact. Number one, it's causing the release of certain biochemicals in your system that are attacking you. Number two is hijacking your behavior. So it hijacks the way you eat. You take a lot of energy drinks because you're stressed. You take a lot of sugary drinks because you're stressed, because a stressed brain always shouts for sugar and fat. You take a lot of fatty stuffs because you are stressed.
Then due to the cortisol release, you hold on to the fat.
And as long as the stress is staying for too long in your system, cortisol is released, contributing to increasing your weight fat. And it's been a lot of evidence actually point to the fact that obesity, especially abdominal obesity, pot belly, is a strong risk factor for hypertension and other heart diseases. As a matter of fact, we say that for men, if your waist circumference is going above 40 inches, and for women, 35, 36 inches, then your risk factor is getting double to tripled for heart disease. Then the same thing for cancer. A lot of evidence is pointing to the fact that diet, stress management, and abdominal obesity are strong risk factors for cancer. And I will quickly point out stress, because the reality is that in our society and even in Western medical practice, a lot of doctors have not come to this realization, but a lot of researchers have pointed to the fact that emotions that are poorly managed by any individual, by any human being, or wrongly managed can contribute to cancer. In fact, a lot of studies have linked emotional stress like unforgiveness, resentment.
This is real.
With cancers.
Disease is dis-ease within the body. So I wanted to ask you, what is the correlation between poor mental health and your physical health in particular?
Your mind and body are connected. Whatever happens to your mind will eventually happen to your body. Whatever happens to your body will take a toll on your mind. So I always put it this way. Any emotional pain that stands for too long in your system will eventually
manifest
turn to physical
physically.
Pain.
So can you repeat that again, please?
Any emotional pain that stands for too long, that you don't mitigate or you don't manage, will eventually translate to a physical pain. So a classical example, there is an aspect of Eastern medicine that I delve into. We use energy psychology to diagnose diseases. So and we have found that there's even Western correlate for it. For example, if you are battling too much of emotional stress or psychological stress as a result of sensing that you are lacking financial support, if care is not taken, your posture will be altered as a result of that. We can prove that. If care is not taken, when you're driving, the way you slouch will reflect this financial stress. And even biologically, a lot of evidence has pointed to the fact that constriction of blood vessels supplying the spine happens with long-standing psychological stress from lack of financial support. And it might be real, it might be imaginary. So that a lot of people that are battling long-standing lack of financial support, whether reality or imagination, they battle low back pain. Low back pain.
So, Dr. Sass, real quickly, and this is very practical for everybody watching us at home now. What are the practical steps to distressing, in just about a minute? And for everybody watching us at home, you too can be part of this. You can do this. Practical step for just distressing.
All right. So I say, this is the way I put it. I work with a awareness model that I developed a couple of years ago.
In a minute.
W-E-L-L-E-S-S. So in a minute, I will just talk through it. W representing workout. Regardless of age, find a workout that works for you. find a workout that works for you. It helps to bathe your brain with chemicals that help you, like endorphins. It helps to bathe your blood vessels with chemicals that help your blood vessels and not like nitric oxide.
1 minute.
Then emotions. You must understand that emotions are unreasonable. You got to balance your thinking with emotions. And know this, if you're battling any emotional stress, emotions are just chemicals. They are released on purpose. They are messengers. Find a purpose to that emotion and relate with it based on that. And thirdly is your leisure. Rest can never be overemphasized.
Yep.
Rest, sleep, fun time can never be overemphasized. Learning, your learned behaviors. There are a lot of habits that we pick up from my environment, from my education, from my experience and exposure. You got to check them. Alvin Toffler said that the literature of the 21st century is not the man that cannot read or write, but the man that cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Yeah. So there are a lot of habits like procrastination. Someone wants to start working out, but they keep procrastinating.
1 minute.
Nutrition. We have talked a bit about nutrition, but we'll quickly talk about the pH, blood pH, based on our food. This is one of the major problems I see in Africa. Acidic food versus alkaline foods. We eat too much of acidic foods in Africa. And a lot of Africans are running on acidic blood pH. In acidic blood pH, infection thrive easily.
Yeah.
So, and your
Can you give us examples of acidic food? I know citrus fruit.
So acidic foods are largely carbs.
Yes.
Carbs, red meat, and the likes. And a couple of some fruits are acidic. While alkaline foods are largely green leafy vegetables, some fruit and some not.
Are you a fan of alkaline water? Do you recommend people ingest alkaline water?
Yes, I do. It's difficult for infection, cancer, and the likes to thrive in a normal blood pH, which is slightly alkaline.
And very briefly, in 30 seconds, can you please talk about sexual habits? Because I have noticed that HIV is 30 seconds.
So the one that's what I talk about, the E is environment, the first S is sexuality, the last S is spirituality. So sexuality has a lot to do with your health. The way you handle your sexual urges, your sexual intimacy. If you are not enjoying sexual intimacy with your spouse, you are depriving yourself of certain medical benefits of sexual intimacy. However, if you're also not in control of your sexual urge, you're most likely going to compromise your sexual health.
And what about sexual safety, sexual health? Because HIV is still prevalent, even after all the campaigns.
That's the second commonest cause of death in Africa, HIV. And we have a lot of cultural belief that some will believe that tell you HIV is...
Dr. Sass, most importantly, the S on that line is spirituality. And your relationship with your Maker matters a great deal. I'd like to say a very big thank you for your time here.
Thank you
for having me. Each and every one of you. I'm sure you've learned one or two very exciting things.
I actually had a great time talking to him. Did you learn anything?
I learned a lot.
You learned a lot, didn't you? Well, you always learn a lot. You're a brain box. Well, it's time now for a short break on The Morning Show. When we return, we'll have recruitment expert Mrs. Fola Olighton, so make sure you stay tuned. This is The Morning Show, only on Arise News. We'll be right back.